it's Sammy, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Sammy, and I do mostly Disney contact videos. If you follow my Instagram, I will link it down below. You will see that I had announced that I am doing a little mini series on fraud. So I have been working in the financial industry for about 6 years now, so I have seen a lot of different fraud and a lot of people get affected by it, and I just think it's so important that I share these different fraud schemes so that way you can be aware of what's happening. Now let me just give you a little disclaimer. I understand that fraud is super serious, but also I don't want to be boring and like a teacher and be like, well, not that teachers are boring, but like a, you know, one of those like boring teachers that are like, and then the fraud with blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna do some little role playing with it. Party of Sammy, a one-man show, one-woman show, but you know, it's cool. And yeah, I'm just gonna get. Hello, I'm Sammy, and I'm so attractive. Just kidding. I am going to, what was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna make it fun and I'm gonna make it interesting. I mean, fraud is very interesting. There's a bunch of different fraud schemes that are out there. So I'm only gonna go over the ones I see the most, and kind of how to watch out for it and what to look for. And I hope you guys like it, and if not, I'm sorry, but yeah. I think it's important. So, without further ado, let's get into the first fraud scheme that we see the most. All right, you guys ready? One of the most fraud schemes, you know, repeat yourselves like 10 times, it's fine, that we see is the Craigslist. I guess, I don't know if Craigslist still does jobs, but the job fraud is what I would call it. There's all these terms and stuff for all this stuff, and I just, you know, I'll say some of them, but you'll know what I mean when I'm saying it. So, the job scheme. So this is one that happens a lot. I would say age group that this happens to, I would say like college student to mid 40s, you probably see this scam happen more. So, especially now with everything that's happening in the world, this one is kind of showing up a lot more now. But what this one is you will be looking on the good old internet looking for a job because, you know, you need some extra money, you're trying to figure out what to do, or even, so maybe not a job, you're trying to sell something, you gotta get some extra cash, you're just trying to make it by. So you're looking on the internet for a job, you're posting something to sell, you're like, oh, look at this really cool guitar, I'm gonna sell it, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody reaches out to you and they're like, hey. You're like, hey, yeah, I love a job. They're like,
okay. I'm gonna hire you to watch my kids for me and buy my groceries. And I'm like,
easy peasy. How much does it pay?
and they're like,
it pays blah blah blah.
Okay, cool.
and then you get all their contacts, you're talking for a few weeks, and they're like, oh.
By the way, I don't live in your state yet, but we're moving out there, but I'm gonna need you to get my groceries and blah 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 and do all this stuff.
And you're like,
That's a little weird.
I need the money. And then so you're talking, you're phone calling, you're texting, you're communicating through the computer, you know, however you communicate. And then you give them your address and they send you a check in the mail. And they'll say, hey, I know I said I'm gonna pay you $1,200, but here's a $6,000 check. And you're like, damn, okay, what is this? What's happening? And so you tell them, hey, like, oh,
Just deposit it and then send me $4,000 of that.
and then you're like, okay, and they're like, yeah, you.
That's my grocery money, so I just need you to send me that back.
Or they'll do that, say you're like selling your guitar for $1,000. I don't know how much guitars go for. We'll just say it's like Bejeweled and it like plays music better than any guitar in the world. You don't even have to have skills, you're just like, and it's great. And they're like, here's $3,000. We're gonna use the rest for shipping and handling, you know, whatever, keep the extra afterwards, like, we're good, we're good. So you're like, oh, cool, great, this is awesome. So you bring your check to the bank and you say, hey, I need a and your bank teller is like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. What was your job? What are you doing? And you're a little excited and you're a little like, none of your business, because we all know a lot of people don't like telling their business with everybody, okay? But you're like, oh, I'm just,
I'm housekeeping for this person. Or, oh, I'm just sewing my guitar.
oh, that's really exciting. That's so amazing. Yay, woohoo, money, new job, whoop, 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 whoop. And then the bank teller looks at the check and they're like, oh, wow, like this is a really good paying job, or wow, your guitar must be magical. And then you're like, yeah,
Well, they actually gave me a little extra. I have to send the rest back to them, or it's for shipping and handling, and
that, and then your bank teller's like, I see. So how long have you known this person? And you're like, why do you care? Did I ask for you to ask me this? And they're like, you know, just trying to help you out. You know, inside they're just like, you know, I'm just wanting to help you out. I'm just concerned. This check kind of looks a little funky. And the check, let me tell you, it will look funky, guys. It will not look like a legit check. But somebody who doesn't get a lot of checks, you won't know this. You will not see that that check is not real. Key factors to look on a check for fraud. The font is different. That's a big one. So your little top box to where who sent it to you, that's like in Times New Roman, and then the little to person is like different. It's, I don't know, what are different fonts? Not Times New Roman. And then the top one where it says the bank is a different font, and it just kind of looks off, but you're just like, well, it's money. You know, you're not thinking about this stuff. You're not looking at this stuff, and that's okay, because that's what our job is as people in the financial institution. We're here to have your back. You know, we're here to make sure you're not getting frauded. Frauded, is that a word? You're not getting scammed. So we start looking at the check and we start kind of talking with you more. And we start explaining to you, this is not normal. So your first defense is probably gonna be like, excuse me? You did not just tell me that this is not normal. Or you're gonna be like, oh, I thought it sounded a little fishy. And it's okay, let me tell you, that's how they get you. They hype you up with all this stuff and they make you just think, no, it's good, it's great, it's whatever. They have you second guessing yourself. That's gonna happen. It happens always. It always happens. So if you get in this situation, do not think down on yourself. It does not make you less of a person if you believe somebody in their life. Like, that is not your fault for being a good person and having hope in the world, okay? But we gotta know that there's a lot of nasty meanies out there that are gonna get their way and they're gonna do what they want and they're gonna get all your money. It happens, okay? So, looking out. Next thing, they say that they're in California. Your thing in the mail comes from Oklahoma. And you are in, I'm in Colorado, so we'll just say Colorado. You're in Colorado. That's 3 different states. That is called a triangle scheme, I think is what we technically call it. That is gonna be your #1 thing. If they are somewhere and they are mailing something from another place, or you see on the bank is in a whole nother state, be wary of that. Be like, this is weird. Now, let me just tell you, you're gonna confront these people and they're either gonna sweet talk their way out of it or they're just gonna ignore you. If you don't have the hard evidence where you're like, oh, the bank teller told me that this is fake, they're probably gonna be like, no, it's good, we're good. We were just in Oklahoma and that's why I got sent from there, blah, blah, blah. We were just tying up loose ends, like it's fine. But the moment you say, hey, I took this to my bank and they said that it was fake, what the heck? They're gonna just gone. You're not gonna hear from them. Who's Bob? I don't know. Bob doesn't know you no more. Now you might be thinking, how does this work? If the check bounces, aren't they out of that money? No, What they do is they make a fake check. So they have a fake account, they have all of this stuff, and they get you to deposit the funds. So they give you a $5,000 check, you put it in there, they tell you to give them $4,000 back, you take the $4,000 out. This check's gonna bounce. You sent that cash, it's gone. It's gone, long gone, it's in Bob's hands, Bob's rich, he's living life, he's done this to 10 other people. That check bounces, you're negative $4,000. That's how it works. They use you and your money, your bank account to make you go negative. Now, not to say that we can't put in things and to get your money back and everything like that, but sometimes depending on the situation, it can be very hard. It could be really hard, cases have to go out, and it takes time. It's not just gonna, boop, it's in your account and everything's fine. Like, it's gonna take time to get your money back. So it is just so important to, one, know your person. Don't just do something after like the first thing. Ask questions. And if something doesn't feel right, listen to your gut. If that's one thing I learned in my 6 years of financial institutioning, I don't know if that's right, is your gut is always right. If something seems funky, it's funky. Do not let somebody tell you that you are wrong for thinking and having these questions. You are right. If you are like, this doesn't seem right, don't do it. If somebody sends you a check and they're asking you to send money back from that check, whether you're selling something, it's a job, whatever, that is not real. That is not real at all. Just don't do that. Oh, it breaks my heart so much to see people who've been looking for a job or they're just trying to get some extra money, and then they come in and I have to tell them, I'm sorry, but this is not real. It breaks my heart to see the look on their face when they realize that extra money they thought they were gonna get to help pay their bills, to help pay their rent, to take care of their kids, whatever it is, it's not coming. Do not feel bad if you believe that that money's coming. Do not feel bad. It's not your fault for having hope. That's the one thing I could teach you out of this, is never feel bad for being manipulated. It is not your fault that somebody made you second guess yourself and gave you that hope. But what you can do is listen to your gut, look for the signs, never do business with somebody that says, hey, I'm gonna send you a little extra, send me it back. Say, bye-bye, no more. And 4, be kind to your teller. Be kind to them when they ask you these questions. They don't ask you these questions to attack you. They ask you these questions to help you. So always remember those 4 things and you will be just fine. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. I know I'm kind of probably all over the place and I don't know how this is gonna look. I'm probably gonna edit this and be like, okay, no refilm. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and in our next video, I am going to be talking about one of the fraud schemes that breaks my heart the most, and that is the Sweetheart fraud scheme. So stay tuned and that video will be up shortly. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't like this video, well, I mean, you're probably just a fraudster. Just kidding. Have a good day, guys. Bye.